Hi everyone. Very good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. I'm Rasha Khan and I'm your host for today's webinar, and I'm thrilled to be your host today. I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. You can drop us a hello with your name and let us know where are you tuning in from on the chat box here. Let the global conversations begin. I see a lot of folks have joined us early, and I see the introductions have already started on the chat here. So that's great. I see Sneha has joined us from Dubai, Malik has joined us from Canada, and Suzanne has joined us from Zambia, and Chadi from Nigeria, Klaus from Sierra, and Francis from Jordan, Vincent from Zambia, Mustafa from Afghanistan, TT from Cairo, and a lot more introductions coming in. I see a lot of you folks have already joined in early for our session, Climb the General Management Career Ladder in 2024. We'll be taking through the program preview and talking more about the IIM Indore General Management Program. Meanwhile, before we start the session, let's do a quick round of introductions on the chat here. Before we start, because it's always good to network, right? These events before we start the session. So keep the introductions coming in. I see a lot of you folks are still joining and are new. So we are just starting the session. We're just waiting for a few more minutes to start right on time. Also, we are also live on our YouTube channel. So I can see a lot of folks have joined us live on our YouTube channel as well. So hello to you folks as well. And I see a lot of introductions coming on the chat there as well. Folks who have joined us live on YouTube, please do let us know your name and where are you tuning in from. So it's always good to network, right? These events before we start. So before we start the session, meanwhile, your introductions are still coming in. Please keep the introductions coming in. It's always good to network and get to know you folks, and also good to know who are the folks joining us, right? So let me just quickly take you through the few ground rules we have here before we start the session. So here you need to put down your questions in the Q&A box in case you have any questions for our speaker, Seema Sahay here. And the session is being recorded. You can expect a follow-up email with the recording link and a webinar certificate for attending the session. And how can you do that? You can basically put down your full name in the post-webinar survey by Zoom for folks who are attending us via Zoom. So towards the end of the session, which is of 60 minutes of duration, you can fill the full name in the post-webinar survey and the name which you would want to see in the webinar certificate for attending the session. So I'll just quickly remind you and nudge you again towards the end of the session in case you have any questions, and you will have to stay till the end of the session in order to get the webinar certificate. So, so please let you know. Excuse me. So please do let me know if you have any questions about the recording link or the webinar certificate. I'm happy to help you out. And also, this program is powered by Simplilearn, world's #1 online bootcamp. We have been in the digital skills training space for almost a decade now, and we are very proud that we have been transforming lives by empowering people via digital skills like AI, ML, data science, business analytics, cybersecurity, cloud computing, and general management, and many more, which we'll be talking about today, the topic general management. We have advanced over 5 lakh plus careers in over 150 plus countries, and we have 800 plus qualified trainers here who basically help us with these courses here. And we'll be starting with a quick poll here, just to know you a little better. I see a lot, I think 100 plus of you have joined us. So that's great. So let's start with a quick poll. Meanwhile, you're giving down your introductions here. So let's start with a quick poll here, which says how many years of experience do you currently have? So as you can see, interestingly, we have gotten audiences, basically attendees who have joined us are from different countries, different parts of India as well. That makes the crowd pretty diverse. And also, while the crowd who has basically joined us is pretty diverse, coming from different parts of the world, they also come from different set of experiences. So this poll is just to know you a little better, how we can basically understand what kind of audience has joined us. So our speaker, Seema Sahay, who has already joined us, can tailor her responses accordingly to the audience who has basically joined us. Awesome. I see Philemon has joined us from Ethiopia. Amjad has joined us from India. Vijay has joined us from Mysore, Karnataka. Mustafa has joined us from Afghanistan. And Emmanuel has joined us from Nigeria. Matthew from Dallas. Sipo from Iswatini, formerly known as Swaziland. Interesting, I've never heard that. Arya from Jharkhand. Victor from Kenya. Sanjay has joined us from India. And I see someone from Botswana. Vijay from Kathmandu. I see Nandini has joined us from US. Rafi is from Sri Lanka. And someone has joined us from Ghana. Justice has joined us from Ghana. So thank you so much for introductions. The chat here, keep introductions coming in. I know a lot of you folks have just joined in. We are just starting the session. We're just a few minutes into the session, and we're just doing a quick poll here to understand, what kind of experience do you have as well, apart from introductions. So please keep the introductions coming in. Once again, welcome everyone. I'm Rashad Khan. I'm your host for today's webinar, and I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. And I'm thrilled to be your host today. And you can drop us a hello on the chat here with your name and where are you tuning in from, um, as you're joining in us. Awesome. I see the poll here. Most of you have already responded for the poll here, but last 10 seconds for the folks who are still basically responding to this poll. So how many years of experience do you currently have? Now, I see a lot of introductions coming in on the YouTube live chat box as well. Folks who basically have joined us live on YouTube, we can select the options 1, 2, 3, 4, and put down your basically answers in the YouTube live chat box. And I see introductions coming on the chat here as well. I see Mukesh has joined us from Delhi on our YouTube live. And a lot of folks are still joining in. A lot of new folks are still joining in. So let's quickly end this poll in next 5 seconds. So last 5 seconds, folks, how many years of experience do you currently have? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the results with you folks. So let's see. How many years of experience do you currently have? What have you voted for? So I see 56% of you have voted for more than 5 years. That's interesting. I see 26% of you have voted for currently studying. 11% of you have voted for 3 to 5 years, and 7% of you have voted for 0 to 3 years. And I see few responses on the YouTube live chat box as well for currently studying, most of them. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. That definitely gives us an understanding of what kind of audience has joined us, and our speaker can tailor her responses accordingly to the folks who have joined us. So let's quickly go through the agenda of today's session. So as we can see, we'll be getting, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be getting to know a little bit about you, how we can help you out in your general management career. And we'll be talking about careers in general management in 2024. We'll be taking you through the program introduction of the Executive Certificate in General Management program by IIM Indore. And for folks who share basically interest towards enrollment into the program, we'll be quickly taking you through the enrollment section of the program. And also there'll be a special duration for the Q&A part. So now just to quickly tell you, I know a lot of you folks have joined us in the last few minutes. So we did quickly browse through the ground rules in the starting. So I'll just remind you about what are the ground rules again, once again. So if you have a question for our speaker, you can put it down in the Q&A box. Right now, as you can see, the chat box is completely blowing up with introductions. Thank you so much for that. Keep the introductions coming in. In case you have a query, you can put it down in the Q&A box. It is just right beside the chat box. You can navigate it very easily and put down your question there. Just make sure that the question is related to general management career or the program which will be covering by IIM Indore here. And we'll try to address as many queries as possible throughout the session whenever the speaker gets time. If not, there'll be a special duration towards the end of the session. So please don't worry, have a little patience in case your question doesn't get answered. We'll definitely be addressing all of your queries here. And also, as you can see, the chat box is completely blowing up here. So if you put down your question here now, it will be very hard to track it. And we would love to address your queries here. So yeah, once again, I see a few folks have already started putting down their questions in the Q&A box. So that's great. So this is a program preview. We'll be talking about the Executive Certificate in General Management by IIM Indore here. But before that, let's start with welcoming our speaker here today. So I would like to welcome our speaker Seema Sahay here. Seema is a 26-year expert in career coaching, soft skill training, and personal branding. She has academic groups she started teaching at Mumbai University and Delhi University. And she has a global impact. She has influenced over 20,000 plus individuals globally through sessions at IIM Mumbai and Simplilearn here as well. So it's always a pleasure hosting you, Seema. Very good evening to you. Would love
Good
to know.
evening.
I'm pretty sure. Good evening. I'm pretty sure the audience would love to know a little bit about you from you as well. So please go ahead.
Yeah, so I think, are we done with all the other things? Can we start?
Sure, we can start.
Because I will be introducing myself in the session itself, so that's okay.
Awesome. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I think let's start with the first agenda of today's session about careers in general management in 2024. So let's start with the first slide here, 3 mantras for professional excellence in 2024.
Yes. Okay. So, can I start, Rasha?
Sure. Please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. So, greetings of the day to everyone who have joined here today on Simplilearn's webinar. And thank you, Rasha, for allowing me to introduce myself. And also, a very happy new year to all, because already 1 month has passed. And I hope all of you are faring well with your new year resolutions and going strong, not just for your career, but also for other aspects of your life. So let us begin. Once upon a time, there were four beings or four characters in a maze. They were all living in a maze. There were two little people and two mice. The two little people were called Hem and Haw, and the two mice were Sniff and Scurry. So, all of them went about the maze looking for cheese. One day, the two mice found a stash of cheese and they started enjoying it. But they were mindful of the fact that the cheese would get over one day. The two little people also found cheese. They settled down comfortably, grew accustomed to the cheese, and did not bother about the cheese getting over. They took it as their right. When the cheese got over, Sniff and Scurry started looking for new cheese and found it ultimately. The two little people were, however, bitter and depressed and distressed, and they felt that they had been treated unfairly. They had taken the cheese as their right, and they made no effort to look for new cheese. Moral of the story: change is the only constant. You need to keep now that cheese is your success, and you need to keep working towards attaining your success. So, in other words, you need to keep evolving yourself with the times, and then only will you be remaining relevant in today's world. So, can anyone tell me which story was this? Which book this was? Can you answer in the chat box, please? Which story was I talking about? It's a very nice book, very readable, a very short book, just about 90 pages long, but it has a profound message. And yes, Monique, you have rightly said, Tabunde, who moved my cheese? So I can see the answers coming in the chat box, and you are right. It is indeed the book. It is a parable with a profound message, and it is Who Moved My Cheese. And who has written it? If you have read this book, I am sure you know the answer. Who is the author of this book? Payal, you're right. Who moved my cheese? Now give me the author before I give it to you. Who has written this beautiful little book? Anyone with the answer? Okay, so the author is Dr. Spencer Johnson. Yes, Monique, and everyone else, you are right. It is Dr. Spencer Johnson. So In this ever-changing dynamic world of business today, how does one navigate change? How does one remain at the top of one's game and make a success of one's professional journey? How does, in fact, one climb the general management career ladder in 2024? So these are some of the questions that we will be discussing and focusing on in today's webinar. Hello, once again. I'm Seema Sahay, career and communications coach, author of 4 books, academic, editor, corporate trainer, and a former editor of an international monthly magazine called Indian Dairyman, and of course, a power skills enabler. So, as a career enhancement coach, I enable my job aspirants, my clients, job aspirants, as well as professionals to scale and secure their careers through certain power skills that will make them indispensable at work. Till date, I have impacted over 40,000 people with my trainings, workshops, sessions, keynotes, webinars, seminars, and ongoing online and offline sessions. So, beginning my journey some 28 years ago, I graduated from Lady Shri Ram College, went on to do my master's and MPhil in English, and then I joined as an academic at Mumbai's Bhavans College. So I was there as a faculty. Later on, I added mass communication to my repertoire, and I started teaching both English and mass communication in various colleges and universities pan India. So, to gain industry experience after that, I became the editor of Indian Dairyman, as I just said, and I worked there for 7 years. It was a very fulfilling experience, and I gained a lot of industry experience. Simultaneously, I did my international certification in soft skills from ICBI, and then I transitioned into the coaching and training industry, became a corporate trainer. So, in my long professional journey, where my career has followed so many different trajectories, there is one thing I learned, and that is the importance of being curious, of always learning something, of the lifelong learning that we call it. So, continuous learning is very important. As Steve Jobs has said, always stay hungry, stay foolish. Moving on. So we have been talking of climbing the ladder, the career ladder. So what is the ladder? Now, your career span is of 30 to 35 years when you plan how you are going to climb the ladder and aspire to reach the topmost rung, the leadership levels or the C levels, the C-suite levels. So the first rung is when you are a new entrant. You have stepped into your new job with all the necessary skills and qualifications. You are raring to go and you aspire to excel at your role, and you do so. The second rung is when you reach your mid-career level, the mid-management level. Here again, more than anywhere else, more than any stage else, you must continue to work diligently and with a lot of strategy and attract the best projects and the best career or job opportunities. Now, I say job opportunities over here because it is at this stage when a lot of people want to transition into other roles, into other jobs, and into other industries as well. So this is the mid-career level, and how well you're going to perform here, how well you perform here will ensure whether or not you transition into your dream job and whether or not you climb up to the next rung of the ladder or not. So this is now we have reached the third rung, and that is your leadership stage. So that is the senior executive level. You are an expert in your domain, you have great industry knowledge, and you are a great team player, team leader, bringing out the best in your people, the best performance out of your people, and your business acumen, your vision, your strategy, as I said, industry knowledge, your people skills, all of these skills should be at their peak. Now, very few people manage to reach this stage. Why do very few people manage to reach this stage? Can anyone tell me? Why do we not go up to the leadership level? Only a few ones are, capable of reaching that level. So they are not able to reach that level or venture or go up to that level because they are not ready to venture out of their comfort zones and look for new cheese. Cheese was your success. So they are not ready to look for new cheese and they stay in a rut in the place that they are in, because looking for new cheese requires effort. It requires upskilling, upgradation. It requires unlearning and relearning. It requires staying relevant, and that requires skills that are transferable across industries. So today I will be sharing the 3 elements that you should maneuver and master for having a successful professional journey, the 3 mantras for professional excellence in 2024. The first is, of course, technological mastery. We all know that it is an age of technological disruptions. The second is leadership excellence. Now, this forms the crux of any good general management program because leadership is very important at every stage of your career. The third is I'll be telling you about the importance of transferable skills. Why should you have transferable skills? So, are we ready to begin? Everyone, can I get a yes or a thumbs up in the chat box? Are we ready to begin? If yes, please type ready, or else you can type 3 because we are discussing the 3 mantras. So you can type 3 in the chat box. And yes, I can see a lot of answers. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. So when we talk of technology, the digital economy requires digital savvy managers. Let me give you a simple example. We talk of decision making all the time in organizations. Now, previously, decisions were not made so fast. People would deliberate over it, and decisions would be taking over days and over weeks also. However, now with the changing business landscape, decisions need to be made quickly. If organizations need to progress, decision making has to be taken very quickly. So as a digital savvy manager, you can adopt agile methodologies, which allow for rapid decision making given the current market conditions. So this is one way. And that is why managers use technology to streamline operations, to expand their reach, and adapt to the competitive business environment. Now, there is also an increased focus on AI, on artificial intelligence across industries. We see how AI has taken over so many industries now. So, in fact, in a recent news, over 25,000 employees across the global tech industry were laid off in January 2024, as recent as January 2024. Now, this happened. Why? Because companies are now hiring people who have AI expertise. And it is not a bad news because within the AI space also new roles are being created. In fact, Apple and Meta are actively filling roles related to machine learning. So if you have the skill, if you constantly upgrade yourself, you will always be in demand. Now, how many people over here have heard of AI? How many of you are familiar with AI, artificial intelligence, and use it in your work? So, can you tell me AI? Give me an AI in the chat box. If you are familiar with AI, thank you. Yes, I can see a lot of us because we do use AI in every sphere of our lives right now, these days. So a lot of AIs are coming in. So yes, all of you are familiar and see how AI has taken over our lives and made it so simple. So technological literacy is imperative for a job aspirant, for a young professional, for a mid-career professional, and for a leader. So across all stages, no matter where you are, technological literacy is required. In fact, a study by MIT Sloan Management Review found that organizations with digitally literate managers are 26% more profitable than others. So now we understand the importance of being technologically savvy. So now we come to 2024, and for aspiring professionals, some of the top skills in 2024 will be data analytics, cloud technology, AI and ML, cybersecurity, digital marketing, design thinking, and agile methodologies, including Scrum. So there are others, of course, but this is basically, it's not a very exhaustive list that I have said, but these are some of the top skills that will be valued in 2024. Of course, the list also includes communication abilities. That has been a constant throughout. It also includes emotional intelligence. It also includes continuous learning. So these things we have been talking of all throughout. I mean, their importance can never be negated. So this was the first element. Now we move on to the second element. So next slide, please. We come to mastering leadership challenges in 2024. Now, what do you think will be some of the leadership traits or skills or qualities that will be relevant in 2024 in today's world? Can you give me some answers? What are those skills? What are those qualities that leaders need to have? What are those, traits that they need to have in order to make their yes, good communication, very good, very good. Active listening, analytical, crisis management, lots of answers coming in. Servant leadership, great, great. Organizational skills, yes. Empathy, we cannot deny the importance of empathy. Responsive, okay. Yes. So to drive your company's growth as a leader, you need all these skills that you have just mentioned in the chat box. Thank you so much for your answers. So today, however, I will touch upon only three important facets of leadership, three very important facets of leadership. Number one is, are you a people's manager? Can you inspire, motivate, and work with your team effectively in order to realize not just your departmental, but your organization's aims and objectives? So, anticipating and preparing for upcoming leadership challenges can only take place if you have this very important people skill. So people skill can really make or mar your career. And You need to get the greatest performance out of your team. That is true, but also you yourself should be able to and ready to go the extra mile for your team. That is also very important. Someone has just mentioned servant leadership, and what can you do for your people, for your team, is very, very important. So this is number one. Number two, make use of the Pareto principle. What is the Pareto principle? I'm sure all of you have heard of Pareto principle. So how many of you make use of the Pareto principle at work? So if you are familiar with Pareto principle, give me a PP. Give me a PP in the chat box. Yes. Yes, thank you. Okay, lots of PPs coming in. 80-20, yes, great, great, great. So it is the 20-80 rule where the 20% comprises of those important tasks, the most important work in the organization, which you cannot delegate to others, which you cannot outsource to third parties. You have to do that. You have to focus on that. And this 20% is going to create 80% of the impact on your company's well-being and growth. So it is very important to practice the Pareto principle in your work as well as also in your life. And if you practice Pareto principle in turn, it is going to be the secret or the strategy to you remaining at the forefront of your industry. As is mentioned here, how do you stay ahead? Follow the Pareto principle and remain at the forefront of your industry. So this was the second thing. Yes, and now we come to the third aspect, and which is, of course, very obvious. It is understanding the emerging technologies, understanding the digital technologies without which no work gets done. So understand and learn the digital technologies such as digital marketing, and you can execute growth-driven strategies using technologies such as generative AI. So be up to the mark, follow all the industry trends, all the emerging technologies, and be conversant and be familiar and start using all of these. So this was about leadership, and now we come to the third element. It brings me to the third element of how to climb the career ladder successfully. So apart from the technical prowess, which we have been discussing, apart from the leadership competencies, which again we have discussed, there is one element that will always bring you phenomenal returns, and that is having transferable skills. So what are transferable skills? Can you name some of these transferable skills? I'm sure all of you have heard of transferable skills. Can you, name some of these skills? Change management, performance management. Okay, what else? What are these transferable skills? And can you name a few of these? Hard skills. Okay. Okay. Any particular transferable skill that you have heard of or made use of? Okay, so yes, so transferable skills are those skills that once you have them, once you acquire them, you can apply to other areas of your work or professional life as well. So it is especially useful for professionals who are looking to transition into other roles and even into other industries. For instance, your profession could be marketing. Now you are looking for another job, another role, or you want to switch jobs. So now in your current job, you might have displayed great leadership skills. You have excelled in a leadership role. Now, when you are looking for your new role, you can definitely highlight these kind of skills and you will have an advantage over others because core expertise everybody has. But if you have a transferable skills, a skill that can be used across industries, that is a transferable skill. So then your chances will be so much better than others. So if you are adaptable, if you are flexible, if you work well with teams, if you have exceptional interpersonal skills, if you have clarity of speech and expression, communication again. So, and you can bring your technical knowledge to life. You can bring your domain expertise to life. That means you can explain in layman's terms to other people. So if you have these abilities, they will always be an added asset to your core expertise or to your domain specific competencies. So these were the three essentials, the three elements of climbing the ladder to career success. I know mastering all these might seem a daunting prospect, but upskilling with a vision in mind, upskilling in a planned and structured manner with foresight and with deliberation is the key to growth. So taking your career and your organization to the next level requires you to go beyond your domain and gain an in-depth understanding of all business operations. And here, a general management program is focused on business strategy, on building leadership, on understanding the key functions of any organization. And what are they? Finance, marketing, operations, and organizational behavior or HR. So next slide, please. So such programs are intensive and enhance your management expertise as they focus on operations, supply chain management, marketing, human resource management, leadership, business analytics, business strategy, financial management, digital disruption and innovation, design thinking. Okay, so I'm sure you are familiar with a few of these. Maybe you are not familiar with business analytics. So business analytics is basically collecting and analyzing data and using data to understand what is happening in your organization. And also by analyzing data, you can forecast the future trends in your, suppose it is sales. So you can forecast the future trends that is going to take place in your organization. So that is business analytics, and business strategy is of course strategizing, depending on what is required in your organization. Suppose a cost cutting measures are required, then you have to strategize where you can cut the cost, where you can suppose you can suggest better inventory management, you can suggest supply chain management to minimize transportation costs, or you can streamline logistics, etc. So this is an example of business strategy. The rest, of course, digital disruption and innovation, we all know, we have been talking about it, because earlier we used to be doing things in a particular way, but something comes into the market which just shakes up the market and it disrupts the market. And that means it disrupts the way of doing things. So what we were doing in the old way is totally now, turned upside down. And a very good example would be, in the earlier days, if you want to make a payment, if you wanted to make a payment, you would go to the bank, or you would go to the ATM, or you would use your credit card or debit card or whatever. But now what happens? The digital payment apps have taken over suddenly, and it has been a disruption like never before, especially in India. I'm talking in the Indian context, and this digital payment apps like PhonePe or Paytm or whatever it is, even the smallest vendor, I mean, even the smallest hawker is using it these days. So that is an example of digital disruption. Easy Paisa app. Yes, Shoaib, thank you so much. And the next is, of course, design thinking. Design thinking it depends upon the customer experience and how you can improve upon a certain product or a service. So that is basically design thinking. So these are the skills that you need to succeed in management. And I would suggest everyone, all the people who want to make a success of their career, to be familiar with these skills, be up to date with your skills. So now I would request Rasha to take over and go forward with the webinar.
Sure. Thank you so much, Seema. I can see the folks who have joined us are basically very actively participating and enjoying while you were speaking, and they're getting to learn a lot. And we'll be talking more about it. Meanwhile, now that we've talked about the skills which are required to succeed in management, and also what exactly is changing in the general management space in 2024, and what exactly is general management as well. I know you have a lot of questions. I see those questions in the Q&A box. And also some of you have also put down your questions in the chat box. As you can see, the chat box is completely blowing up. We cannot keep a track of what is happening there. So again, like suggest you to please go and put down your questions in the Q&A box. That will definitely help you address as many queries as possible through the Q&A box. And we would love to address as many as possible. But now that we've talked about all these things, we would love to understand what exactly is stopping you from becoming a general management expert here. So I'll just quickly launch a poll here. Now, this is a multiple choice question. So you can select multiple options here. So what exactly is stopping you from becoming a general management expert here? So you can see 4 quick options here. I'll just read out those options for you. I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. Second one, I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And the third one, I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. And the last one, my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. So these are the options which we have provided, but obviously, if you're facing any challenge, if something is stopping you from becoming a general manager expert, you can obviously ask your queries in the Q&A box. Please feel free to do that as well. And you can choose from these options as well. This will definitely give us an understanding what is the challenge you're facing and how we can help you out in your general management career. So let's give it like some 10 seconds because I see most of you have already started responding for the poll here. As I mentioned earlier that we've gotten a very active set of folks here. Please take your time. A few of you are still basically responding to the poll. Let's give it 10 seconds more. And folks who have joined us live on our YouTube channel, just to let you know, you can let us know by responding 1, 2, 3, 4 as options on the YouTube live chat box. That will give us an understanding. Oh, apologies, Abdul. I'll be a little slow. So we are talking about what exactly is stopping you from becoming a journal management expert, and what are the challenges you're facing when it comes to pursuing a career in journal management. I hope it's okay now. I hope it's not fast now. Folks on Zoom, you can go and put down your responses on the poll here. You don't have to put down your responses in the chat here. So last 5 seconds, folks, because I see most of you have already responded for the poll here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the results with you folks. Let's see. What have you voted for? Okay, I can see that 43% of you have voted for I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And 37% of you have voted for I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. And I see 32% of you have voted for my work schedule won't allow me time for learning. And 14% of you have voted for I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. That definitely gives an understanding what exactly is the challenge you're facing when it comes to pursuing a career in general management or becoming a general management expert. So let me just quickly introduce you to the program we have here. So the program by IIM Indore, Executive Certificate Program in General Management, comes with a comprehensive curriculum with an industry-aligned learning path. You get access to integrated labs and hands-on projects for practical experience. We'll be talking more about what are these labs, what are the projects you get to work on here. And you will be having online live virtual classrooms. So those will not be just pre-recorded videos. You actually will be able to interact with the instructor here in this program by IIM Indore. And the program duration is of 6 months duration. And I saw in the initial poll which we did of experience, a lot of you, more than 50% have more than 5 years experience. So from my understanding, you are a working professional. So doing this program, you just need 5 to 10 hours per week in order to complete this program in 6 months, which makes it very flexible to fit your lifestyle and schedule. Moving on, let's talk about the IIM Indore advantage here. So IIM Indore was established in 1996. The campus is in Indore. It's an auxiliary campus in Mumbai as well. Offers many business and management postgraduate diplomas and programs, including this one, the general management one. And IIM Indore has been ranked 7th in the National Institutional Ranking Framework, India Ministry of Education, and 25th in the Global MBA QS ranking in Asia. Having IIM Indore in your CV is definitely a prestigious accomplishment recognized worldwide. And also it has been accredited by AACSB International, AMBA, and EFMD ETIS. So in case you have any questions about IIM Indore, please do let me know in the Q&A box as well. Now let's talk about how this program builds your skills step by step. Folks, I know that you have a lot of questions. Folks who have a lot of questions, please quickly go and put on your questions in the Q&A box because we'll be addressing a lot of your queries in some time very quickly. So before that, let's talk about how this program by IIM Indore builds your skills step by step. So we start with an orientation session here. And then we move on towards the foundations of management. And then we move towards the economics for business, then covering accounting and financial management. And then OPS and SCM, marketing management, human resource, and we move on towards business analytics, management leadership, and business strategy, design thinking, digital disruption, and innovation, and then end it with the caption project. Caption project, again, are the ones who basically help you showcase that true life experience, which you get to choose from one of the projects which we have in this program, which we can add to your portfolio, considering that you might not have any experience in maybe general management and you actually want to move towards a management career. Here, a general manager skills, which we have talked about earlier. What are the general manager skills which will help you succeed in management here? How these general manager skills open up so many career paths. So what are the career paths you'll be pursuing in general management here? Let's talk about that. A C-suite executive managing director position, president, senior VP, vice president position, a general manager, functional area director, division manager, department manager, and many more like that. Moving on to the world-respected faculty we have here as a program advisory board. You can see here Professor Soumya Ranjan Dash, who's the professor of Department of Finance and Accounting, and Professor Siddhartha Kirastogi, again the associate professor, Department of Economics, Professor Manoj Motiani, who's the associate professor, Department of Marketing, and Professor Hasmukh Gajjar, associate professor, Department of Operations Management and Quantitative Techniques, and a lot more well-respected faculty here who basically make sure that we are delivering as per standards to IIM Indore, and you get the best experience while taking up this program in general management by IIM Indore here. And as I mentioned earlier, you get to work on hands-on projects here. So the project you get to cover in this program, once you're done with the program, is the strategic analysis report, where you get to choose a company, conduct industry and company analysis, and perform functional analysis on a selected department, providing recommendations. Here, Simplilearn also helps you with job assist services, which help you with your job search, where this one is for Indian learners. What we offer here is free access to expert webinars and career events with industry leaders, options to choose real-world projects across industries and clear portfolio projects here, and also job assist services in association with IIM Jobs. Now, what exactly are these job assist services by IIM Jobs here? So you get to access job portal, where you get a wide employer network, verified job search framework to provide you unique jobs. also a resume review and rewrite service, where you get assigned a writer who will help you collaborate one-on-one with writing the resume, and you can basically draft it within 5 to 7 days from the first contact with this assigned writer. And one-on-one interview services. You get to practice it, the interview with a practitioner SME here, and interviews based on the resume and the specific skill set, which role you are basically applying for or you're basically approaching for, with a continuous feedback session as well. So now that we've talked about the skills, we've talked about how are these general management skills opening up so many career paths which you can take up from this program, and also how this program IIM Indore acts as an advantage for you while you take up this program, and also how this program builds your skills step by step, and how the general management space is changing in 2024 and beyond as well. So we would love to know what are the eligibility criteria here. So I think some of you have asked, like, if I'm eligible for taking up this program. So let me just quickly take you through the eligibility and the prerequisites of the program here. So from any business background or industry sector, you can be. And also you need to have a bachelor's degree in any discipline with 50% or higher marks. And also 2 more years of work experience is required when you're taking up the program. It's not preferred, but it is required. It's a good thing if you have that experience. So I hope that answers your question for folks who have asked questions about the eligibility, if you will be able to take up this program or not. And now moving on, at the end of it all, you'll be getting an IIM Indore certificate. You can see that on your screen here, which will be certified to you by each Indian Institute of Management Indore. And this basically will be for the General Management Program Executive Certificate. You get to access hands-on projects and integrated labs, which I mentioned earlier, and also live classes from IIM Indore faculty, IIM Indore alumni status. You get to be a part of the alumni circle of IIM Indore, and also optional 3-day campus immersion at additional cost. So these are the things you'll be getting from this program by Indian Institute of Management here by IIM Indore. So we would love to know, are you interested in enrolling into the Executive Certificate Program in General Management by IIM Indore? So you can share your interest. I'm just quickly launching a poll here. So would you like to enroll into the program? You can just share your interest by answering yes in the quickly launched poll here. Here on Zoom. For folks who have any questions about the program by IIM Indore, you can let us know in the Q&A box. We'll be addressing all of your queries shortly. And we'll be taking you through the enrollment steps, which are very quick and easy once we basically are done with this poll here. So I'll just give 10-15 seconds for this poll here, because I see a lot of you have already started responding. Very quick with your poll responses and the chat responses here. That's great, folks. And I can already see a lot of interest coming towards the enrollment of the program. So that's great. But again, once again, we are open to answering any questions you might have about the program or general management career in general. So we'll be taking questions pretty soon, folks. So please do that. If you have already responded for this poll here for enrollment, you can quickly go and put down any questions you might have about the general management career or the program by IIM Indore here. So we'll be taking those questions pretty soon. I'm just putting down a message here on the chat here as well. In case you have any questions about the program, you can let us know in the Q&A box, and we'll be addressing your queries pretty soon here. So this is the time to ask your questions, and not on the chat box, but on the Q&A box. Thank you so much. So let's wait for 10-15 seconds more, because I see most of you have already responded for the poll here. But let's just give 10-15 seconds more for the poll. And for folks who have joined us live on YouTube, I see you responding yes on the YouTube live chat box. So just to guide you, you can go to the description of the YouTube live channel which you have joined just right now, and you will see the link for the Executive Certificate Program in General Management by IIM Indore. And you'll be seeing the Simplilearn program page link there. You can just click on that. It's on the description on the top of it. And you can share your basically interest towards enrollment through that link there. So you can please quickly go and do that for folks who have shared yes as a response for enrolling to the program on the YouTube live chat box. For folks in Zoom, sharing it on the poll response as yes will do. So, as I was speaking about the YouTube live chat box here, to basically go and check out the description. I see most of you have already responded for the poll here. So last 10 seconds, folks, because I see the polls are still moving in. This is a really good time to go and ask any queries you might have about the program or general management career in general. We have already gotten plenty of questions in the Q&A box, which we'll be addressing pretty soon. Seema, if you get some time, you can browse through the questions here as well as we basically move on to the Q&A part of the session. So last 5 seconds, folks, for the poll here. Are you interested in enrolling into the Executive Certificate Program in General Management by IIM Indore here? You can share your response as yes if you would like to enroll into the program. I will be taking you through the enrollment steps of the program just after that. Awesome. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll. And thank you so much for sharing your interest towards enrollment into the program by IIM Indore. Let's quickly move on to the enrollment steps of the program here. We'll be taking questions after the enrollment steps. So again, like this is a really good time to go and put down your questions in the Q&A box here. So the enrollment steps here are pretty easy, quick and easy. There are 3 simple, easy steps which the learning consultants from Simplilearn will be reaching out to you and basically sharing these 3 simple, easy steps to follow. So I'm just quickly taking you through these steps just to give you an understanding beforehand. So the step 1 here is you will have to submit an application. You'll have to apply at askus@simplilearn.net. And the next step is the application will be going for review based on the qualifications you have. I've already shared the eligibility criteria and the prerequisites in basically in the previous slides here. In case you have any questions about that, please do let me know. And based on that, your application will get reviewed and the learning consultants from Simplilearn will be contacting you with an admissions offer. So these are 3 simple steps you will have to follow. Now let's talk about the program schedule and the fee here. So the upcoming cohort, the regular classes will be starting from 24th Feb 2024. And the induction for this program will be starting on 16th Feb 2024. So the program fee for Indian learners here is 2,47,800 rupees INR, including taxes. And I think we have few queries about if there are EMI options available or if I can take finances monthly. Yes, we do have that. It is for as low as 8,433 rupees per month. And I'm aware that a lot of you folks have joined not only from India, but different parts of the world and different countries. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly drop the program page link for the Executive Certificate Program in General Management by IIM Indore for you here on the chat. You can just, I've just shared the link below. You can just click on that link. That is the program page link. And it will take you to the program page link for your own region and you can see the fee there as well and the upcoming cohorts there. So you can check it out there. So please do let me know if you have any questions about that. And again, like if you need any more assistance, you can reach out to us at askus@simplilearn.net. I'll just share that email ID as well with you quickly for you to basically just have a look or in case you have any queries, even post webinar, you can reach out to us there. So I'm just quickly sharing that email ID here on the chat for you to basically reach out to us in case you have any more questions for us, in case you're stuck somewhere, in case you have any questions for about the program in general, so you can do that. I've shared the email ID here. And also just to let you know, we basically take a limited seats per cohort. So we only take 25 to 30 folks per cohort in order to make sure getting all the attention that is required when you're taking up the program. So I hope that explains you about the program schedule and the fee and also the enrollment steps here. Now, I would like to basically also talk about Seema Sahay, who basically has given such a value adding session here, an interesting one. So we have a quick feedback form here. It's a quick survey form, which I think Seema can talk more about. I'm just sharing that form here on the chat here. So Seema, maybe you can tell us what exactly is this quick survey about before we move to this Q&A part of the session.
Yeah, sure. So this is just a survey regarding my video is not okay. Regarding what skills you are wanting to develop. It's just a very simple form and it'll take you just about 30 seconds to fill it. So where you are, which stage of your professional life are you in right now? What do you think are the most important skills that you need to develop to climb up the ladder? Basically, it is that.
Yes. I've shared the link on the chat, folks. You can basically open that link, and it's a quick 2 minute link you need to fill down. And also, we'll be moving towards the Q&A part of the session. Let me just quickly browse through the questions here. I think I did manage to answer a lot of your questions on the Q&A box here. It was completely blowing up. But let's quickly go and check out the questions here. So I think someone has asked like what will be the fee in dollars. A lot of you have actually asked like so I've shared the link again. I think I'll just quickly share the link for you once again in case you want to check out the link for your own region here. I'm just sharing the link. You can just see if you can find that detail here on the program page when you open it in your region for the executive certificate program by IIM Indore here. I'm just sharing those. I'm just answering those questions here. And I think we have already answered the duration and the cost of the program. So duration of the program, I'll just repeat it once again. It's of 6 months, and program fee we have already shared. In case you want to check it out once again, I'm sharing the link towards the program once again and also the response to your answer or question here. Awesome. I think please do check out the Google form. I'll be sharing it once again in case any of you have missed it. Now moving on to the Q&A part of the session. Let's quickly just browse through the session questions here and see what are the questions we have. I think what skills are essentials for success in general management roles. I think we have covered that in detail in the starting of the session itself. I think how AI is helping us in this case. I think that's a good question, Seema. Maybe you can answer that once again for Tayyab here.
Okay, so as I had just said in my presentation, Tayyab, that AI is actually the technology of the future, of the present and of the future, and everyone should master it. AI is actually, you must have seen in your day-to-day life how easy it has made our lives. You know, you have any doubt, any query, you go to ChatGPT, you put your question there, and immediately the answer comes to you. So it is the way things are going to move in the future, and that is why you should master it. For example, if you are into marketing, then you have to reach people, you have to market your products or your services. Now you can use AI for your social media content. So it is a very good tool for creating content. If you want to create posts, if you want to create blogs, articles, whatever it is that you need, it will do it at the click of a button. So that makes your job so much easier. So this is why AI is essential. I just gave you an example of marketing. You can use it in any field that you are in. Yes.
Thank you so much, Seema, for answering that. Please do let us know if you have any follow-up question. I'm sharing a few more questions on the chat here because we have plenty of questions in the Q&A box. I'm answering a few of them myself as well. Please do check out the responses there. The next one here is, I'm not able to make out the name here, but I'm just reading out the question. Is general management equal to PMP certified?
No. PMP is a certification, and it is a certification basically for project management. If you are looking for a if you are looking to become a project manager professional, then it is specifically meant for such professionals. So it is not equal to general management. General management has a much more comprehensive and extensive area of study. So it is not the same as PMP, which is more focused towards one area.
Thank you so much for answering that.
Yes, because general management focuses more on leadership. It focuses, of course, your core domain knowledge as well, but it focuses on leadership skills. It focuses on your critical thinking, you developing your strategic thinking, your communication, your problem-solving abilities, your analytical abilities. All these things will be developed in a general management program because you are studying through case studies. So you are given a case study and you have to analyze that case study, a real life scenario which executives have faced in their lives. Those kind of studies are given to you, and you have to analyze and look at the challenges and come up with possible solutions. So it is a very comprehensive thing, and it develops and hones so many of your skills. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Seema, for answering that question. Please do let us know. I'm not able to make out your name once again. If you have any follow-up question. I see a lot of you folks are asking for like the program link and the program fee for your own region. Please do check out. I'm just sharing the link towards the program once again on the chat here. You can open it and check it out for your own reference in detail. And let's see, like, if you have any more questions here, because we actually have answered a lot of those questions here. And also we are towards the end of the session here. So I think we'll move towards the end of the session. Please do let us know.
I
We do
think
have
somebody has asked Rasha about a book for enhancing people's skills. I saw that question. So I think there are a lot of books which you can read. And the first book that comes to mind is How to Win Friends and Influence People, a perennial classic. And it is written by Dale Carnegie, and you must have, a lot of you must have read that book. The other book that I would recommend is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Again, a very famous book. It is written by Stephen Covey. And then there are other books like Leaders Eat Last. So again, that concept of servant leadership. So that has been written by Simon Sinek. He's a motivational speaker and a great author. So these are some of the books that make a very good read if you want to enhance your people skills.
Thank you so much for answering that. Those are really good books. I've read it myself, few of them myself as well. It definitely has helped. I think we have answered all of your queries almost, and please have responded to a few of the technical queries about the program in the Q&A box. Please do check out the responses there. We are towards the end of the session here, and would like to thank Seema here for giving us an amazing, interesting session. I see the audience enjoyed thoroughly, and they were responding, engaging, and they were the quickest when it came to basically typing on the chat here, not only here on the Zoom, but also on a YouTube live chat box as well. So Seema, would you like to say something to the audience here before we end the session?
Yeah, definitely. It has been such a very good experience for me as well with this interactive audience. Whenever I used to ask something, the whole chat box would be buzzing with answers. So what else could I have asked for? Beautiful audience, beautiful participation over here. If you want to get in touch with me for anything, I'm always there. You have my contacts, I think, in the slide which Rasha showed. So you can get in touch with me on LinkedIn. You can get in touch with me through mail. My Linktree ID has also been given. So all my social media channels are over there. And I'm always there for you. If you have any doubts about your career aspirations, how to climb the ladder of success in your careers, I will always be available to answer those. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I've also shared your email, this link and email ID as well, LinkedIn ID as well on the chat. You can also follow her for more updates there as well.
Yeah.
And also, thank you so much once again, Seema. It's always a pleasure hosting you.
Thank you, Rasha. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, I know a lot of you have been asking about the certificate of the session, this session, not the program. So you will get it. I'll be ending the session now on Zoom, and we'll be getting a post-webinar pop-up survey pop-up by Zoom here, where you will have to fill down what name exactly you would want to see in the webinar certificate. So please do that in order to get the webinar certificate for this program preview program on general management. So I hope that clears your queries here, all the questions about the webinar certificate. So thank you so much, everyone. You have been amazing audience and active audience. And from the enrollment interest we saw into the general management program by IIM Indore, I think we'll be seeing a lot of you in the upcoming cohorts. So thank you so much once again. Have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. And also the post-webinar survey will have a quick feedback note as well. In case you have any feedback for making our webinars better, please do let us know. We would love your love basically knowing what feedbacks do you have. And also we do these webinars every week, and we have some interesting webinars lined up for you. So you can basically join the excitement of these live master classes. I've just shared the link towards the upcoming webinars which we have for the entire month. You can basically go and subscribe for all in case you basically are basically binge watching these webinars and basically trying to add as many value as possible through these webinars, and you love attending these webinars. So you may actually end up finding a good program through these webinars. So thank you so much. And thank you so much everyone for joining once again. We'll be ending the session now. We have extended the session by a few more minutes just to address as many queries as possible by you. So once again, thank you so much. I see a lot of responses in the chat here. So thank you. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you so much, folks. We'll be ending the session now.